I'm on a plane about to take off with Dr. John Wood, the Dr. John Wood. Let none of those imitators out there get you confused. This is the one and only. All right, moving on. We are on a plane. We're gonna head to Los Angeles today for a parish event and a diocesan event. I'm all out of sorts, all out of whack. Pray for me. Pray for us. Actually, I think we're in pretty good hands because there are two nuns a couple rows up from us, and there's no way a plane's going down that has two nuns in it. So I think we're good. Instead of praying for us, don't waste those prayers. Pray for our wives and our children while we are gone doing this, because they really have the hardest job. Right, John?
A couple prayers for us wouldn't hurt either.
Well, we got the nuns.
My dog does the same thing.
I think we're good. No, but they're here. It's just like, by default, we're good. So we landed in LA, and the nuns came through for us, and we are safe. However, it was not without incident. So if the nuns weren't there, it could have been worse. But yeah, we ended up having to make an emergency landing in Denver because of some kind of a medical thing that was happening to a passenger at the front of the plane. John and I were in the back of the plane. So we don't really know like what happened to them, but like the flight attendants were like freaking out, and yeah, so we made an emergency landing in Denver. Thank you, Lord, for nuns. Also, shoot some prayers up for that passenger that had the medical problem, because, yeah, it must have been serious. Good morning, everyone. So we are here for our second event. God has just been taking such good care of us, because normally we will show up at a parish and there's no like person that knows the music equipment, and a lot of times the music equipment is not great, and a lot of times the facilities are not great, and like, what is this? Hello. Yeah, just absolutely awesome. And there's a guy here that I think he's the music director, but he knows what he's doing with the equipment, and he's like giving us everything we need, and like, and this space is so cool. This is a hall in the building next to the actual church, so this is really awesome. So Mario, the music director here, wanted to mess around with my guitar setup, and here he is.
Listen, I don't play guitar, man.
You're killing it, bro. You're killing it.
Figure out how to play it. Who is this?
Get it, baby. Get it. Get it.
Who are you? You're children of God. You're sons and daughters of a Father who loves you. Why are you here? You're here to make a journey. Life is not a vacation. You're not on a Carnival cruise ship. You're on a Mayflower. You're going to a promised land. The meaning of life is not to be successful or to be comfortable or to have a comfortable life. It's like the sporting season. You're going to be pushed. You're going to be challenged. There's going to be storms. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be heartache. That's part of the trial. That's part of the journey. From where you are today to where God's calling you to be, life is the journey, not the destination.
All right, so we are here in the town of, what is this town? Temecula, California. I had never heard about it, but it is a lovely town. Very pleasant, like, it's almost got like this old Western vibe going on. Anyway, so we just finished our little tour of this part of California. We had an awesome event last night. What was that town called? Rancho Cucamonga? Yeah. I'm highly suspicious that is not the actual name of it.
Be butchered or something like that.
Call it RC. I think we just need to kind of set the stage by explaining. We're used to a lot of pre-sales of the tickets for these events. Neither of the two events had very many pre-sales. And then it was funny because we got to last night's event and there were like a bunch of people there, and we were like, oh, this might actually be a nice turnout. And then those people left because they were actually there for a wedding rehearsal. So then we were like, oh, all right, just kidding. And then maybe 5 minutes before the event actually started, just droves of people, tons of people, like just flooded the church, and it ended up being something like 600 people there. And like, how many were pre-orders of that, do you think? It was small, like a very small number of pre-orders. So that was absolutely wild. And then this morning, so it was just, both events were amazing, bottom line. Obviously, Dr. John Wood, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Dr. John Wood's a monster. We're trying to figure out what restaurant we're gonna go to. Anyway, yeah.
The guy was like, he'd been married for like 28 years. They got those 2 boys or something. And he's just like, my wife takes me to mass every week. I've never been Catholic, I've never been Christian, I've never really been anything, but she's always trying to explain stuff to me, but I never really got it. But today, I'm kind of getting it. And then like his wife was all teary and stuff, so that was like the cool thing for me. Like he's actually kind of considering
Yeah.
Catholic after like 28 years.
That's why we do these freaking events. That's awesome.
It's cool.
So yes, I am on the ketogenic diet, but once a week, I give myself the option. We call them choice days. Because cheating is too negative. Like, we used to call them like cheat days.
Wait, is there like a keto club or something?
Yeah. Okay. No, it's just my family. But we just decided that, like, instead of calling them cheat days, which is like almost like a negative emphasis, it's a choice day. I'm making a choice today, and it's an intentional part of my strategy in my life.
Choice to cheat.
Thusly, here we go. That is a glorious choice indeed. So last night, the event we did, the first of the 2 events, when we got there, I realized, oh, this is a church that I've performed at before. So that was cool. But what really messed with me emotionally was about halfway through the event, there are a bunch of people walking behind me right now. About halfway through the event, the song on the set was Follow You. Follow You is a really interesting song from this standpoint. It's the first song I ever wrote that is a part of like who I am today. I don't know how else to say that. That's a weird concept. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, like, after my big conversion, falling in love with God again, really like fully investing in being a Catholic, and like loving that, by the way. I really like had a hard time finding my voice again as a songwriter, and Follow You, by prompting of my brother, I was really struggling with that, and my brother was like, dude, just write a freaking song about following God, because that's what your entire life is about right now. So nothing is going to come across more authentically than that. And I was like, okay. So I sat down, and this is what I did differently that changed the game. I started to I wasn't like trying to write a song. Like, obviously I sat down to write a song, but like I wasn't like trying, like I wasn't forcing it. What I did instead was I just kind of allowed that moment to be an occasion of prayer. And I just reflected on like what I was doing with my life, like what my brother's comments were to me. And I just started praying a dedication to God, like that I would follow Him, a commitment to that. So that's why that song is so important to me, is because like that was such a huge milestone for me as an artist and a Catholic musician. It means a lot. Well, last night I was playing that song, and as I looked out into the crowd while I was playing it, there were people singing it with their eyes closed, like they knew it, and they were praying it. That really messed with me. Like, whoa.
Morning, guys. Having breakfast with Dr. John at the hotel, and I just wanted to share with you something very emotional. I never want to leave this place.